Hello, happy Halloween, and welcome to Adaptation, the vlog and podcast and blog multimedia dedicated to going over adaptations of books to film and video. My name is Sarah J, and I am this week's host on the vlog of Best Horror Adaptations. As you can see, I'm a gypsy, and I will tell your future with this crystal ball. That is actually a teacup, so I guess I can read your tea leaves. Whatever, we're just gonna tell the future by looking in the past at some of these best horror adaptations. Are you ready? Because I am. Here we go. We're going to start out with some oldie but goodie in the classic movie monster category. First off is Frankenstein. I'm not talking about the 1931 version. I am talking about the Kenneth Branagh version where he's running down a hall and his robe just flies open to the wind and you get to see everything. It's kind of fantastic. It's not the most accurate depiction, but it was really entertaining. I liked Robert De Niro as the monster. He was very endearing, kind of sweet, but also creepy because he's Robert De Niro. And Kenneth Branagh as Dr. Frankenstein just had like the perfect amount of hubris. He was just a little bit too much, but at the same time very human. When his brother died, you could tell he was real sad about that. Spoiler alert. I also like that they even managed to squeeze in a tribute to the bride, even though she was not a thing that happened in the book, really. I mean, they kind of brought it up, but there never was a bride. Oh well. I like it. Unpopular opinion. Deal with it. Going right along in the classic movie monster category, we have the Spanish language version of Dracula, which came out at the exact same time as the Dracula with Bela Lugosi that we all love and know, 1931. This one had a different actor in the lead of Dracula, as well as several different actors, Carlos Villar, who was Conde Dracula. But because it was in a different language, it was a much more natural inflection and tone, so that Dracula wasn't so over the top and kind of like way too much. He was just creepy, the way that Dracula is supposed to be. Steamrolling right along here, our creature feature for this vlog is going to be the fairies in Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is technically a film sequel of a book, even though the book came out after the movie. It's kind of confusing, but they're both very good. The book was focused on the true nature of fairies. The main character was going around the world trying to figure out the habits of fairies, if you will, kind of like a zoologist, most notably the tooth fairies, which, once they figured out they were being watched, did not like that, and it ended up very badly for this guy and his family. And then they made a movie about it. Yay! Surprise, surprise, tooth fairies basically look like the old young version of Benjamin Button mixed with a rat and a spider, and they just scuttle around, and they're not very nice. They want to steal your kids and eat them and kill you in horrible ways, basically, is this movie. Needless to say, it makes us terribly, terribly afraid of the dark, but I loved it. It was good, and I think it's probably one of the best adaptations of a creature out there. Along with the Satanic Fairies is another movie that features a awesome creature, Jaws. Many people don't realize that Jaws is based on a book. I'm assuming it's a very boring book. I mean, you're stuck in the middle of the ocean on a boat with a shark trying to kill you. That is an awesome premise, but I mean, for how long? How many pages can you just be stuck on this boat waiting? A lot of pages, I guess. I don't know. Even though it's really cheesy and kind of over the top, it's definitely one of those movies that everybody knows. Even if you haven't seen it, you know it. Kind of going off the same frame of mind in the creature feature, even though it's not horror, is Jurassic Park, which is also based on a lovely book, which is actually very entertaining. And even though it's not technically a horror film, it also managed to scare the crap out of an entire generation of people and make them legitimately afraid of velociraptors, which is one of the dumbest fears you can have. I mean, they're not real. They will never be real again. Maybe. Who knows? Moving over to the spectral corner of things, we have The Woman in Black, which is also a popular pick among our hosts. Even though much of the movie is spent in darkness so shrouded that you can't even see the corners, this actually works to the film's advantage, because you can't see the aforementioned woman. She's just kind of there, you don't know, and it's terrifying. So even though most of the time you're just looking at nothing and the scenes are very slow, it still has that heart-thumping, shoulder-slumping, panicked kind of feeling that makes you squirm, and it's a really good suspense horror movie. Even though the book was not the same as the film diverted considerably from it. The scare tactics they used in the movie translate better than the ones that they would have used in the book, which were mostly psychological, not physical, and there weren't as many scares. So the changes that they did make made it a better film than it could have been. Plus they used that, like we said, That old style, don't let them see the monster tactic that always works. Another ghostly apparition that made the grade was Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is the last film in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. This film takes a really weird twist on the Freddy Krueger thing that it kind of breaks the fourth wall, and Freddy comes back to kill the actors that played his victims in the first movie, because for some reason they didn't believe. I mean, why wouldn't they believe they were actors in a movie with a fake script? I would totally believe that. What? So, anyway, this like demon force that Freddy is based on comes to kill these actors in brutal ways in the real world, and it's all very gory and dramatic, as you might expect. So basically the moral of the story here is just believe everything anyone tells you, because it'll probably come to kill you if you stop believing. What can I say? Speaking of demons, The Exorcist is probably the best known demon possession movie out there. Really the forerunner of the rest of them. And it's also very parodied. But it doesn't exactly follow the book in all the right ways on par. This might be one of the cases where the movie was better than the book. I don't know. I haven't really read the book, and I've only seen parts of the movie because I just can't. It's scary. I can't. You know what demon movie that's not the case with, where the movie was better than the book? The Amityville Horror. Specifically, all of them. The book is amazing, fantastic, nightmare fuel, if you will. Both the 1979 and 2005 versions of the movie are not. The 1979 version follows the story a lot closer than the 2005 one, but both films leave out critical parts of the story so integral that they can only be described as pants-poopingly horrifying. I feel like I was cheated in these movies because I did not get that experience. To each their own. So, those are our picks for the best horror adaptations, rounding out our spooktacular Halloween scare month. Let us know in the comments what you think of our choices. Also, leave a couple comments on your best horror adaptations, and we will see you next time. I've been Sarah J, and this is Adaptation.